Hey Violas, this is a quick how to practice video for summer stomp for the first 10 measures. I'm going to kind of walk you through measure by measure, just explaining the whole thing. And at the end, I'm going to play it through so that you hear what the whole excerpt sounds like. Don't forget that there's also practice tracks in the distance learning folder. They are videos with the notes on screen, with the note names written in, so that you can see the music on screen and you can hear the rhythm. Also, since they're YouTube videos, if you want to play along with them but you need to go a little bit slower, you can use the video settings to slow the recordings down to make sure that you can get the rhythm in, but you don't feel too stressed because it's too fast. All right, we're going to focus on measures 1 through 10. So starting at the beginning, going all the way to this measure right before B. That's your first chunk of this song that you need to learn how to do. Starting here, we have 2 beats of rest at the beginning. So if you're playing along with the play along tracks or whatever, just make sure you count 1, 2 before you start. And then we have 4 A's in a row with accents on them. I'm going to use 4th finger on the D string just because open A is a little bit obnoxious, especially if we're accenting it. So I'm going to try to make sure that's in tune. And then to get the accents, I'm going to start in the lower half of my bow and use my pointer finger to really grab and release each note. So it should sound like just 4 A's in a row with accents on each one. Next thing, watch out. Everybody forgets this rest at the beginning of the 3rd measure where letter A is. So at the end of here, we have beats 3, 4, 1 before we play the next thing. So if I start from this first A, I'm going to play 3, 4, 1. So make sure you keep counting in your head. Next thing people forget, there's an up bow right here on this first note. We ended up bow over here, so we have to do kind of a reverse bow lift. 3, 4, 1, up bow. So make sure that you get all the way to the tip for that first note. Then we have some slurs after this. And we have some separate 8th notes after it. For these to sound really good, I want to make sure that during this last slur, which is an up bow, I want to get all the way back to the frog so I can play these in the lower half. So it'll look and sound like that way. These 8th notes can be nice and snappy, and they're not going to sound as weak as if I got stuck out at the tip. So make sure that last slur, push it all the way back to the frog. Again, we have 3 beats of rest in a row here, so make sure you count really carefully. Same thing over here, but if you notice, this last one is just 2 beats and we have no rest on this downbeat. So if I start at A, my counting is going to go 3, 4, 1. Again, I had to do that reverse bow lift to get back out to the tip so I can do up bow here. This part is almost the same as letter A. It's just the 4 8th notes at the end are slightly different, so don't get tricked. This part right here is exactly the same as letter A, so it should sound exactly the same notes and everything. Then watch out, only 2 beats of rest here. And then measure 9 is probably the trickiest because we have an F natural to an F sharp, and then we have to jump all the way to high D on the A string. So you might actually just practice the first 3 notes a couple of times. Make sure we're getting a good low 2, high 2. And make sure you can make that jump really quickly. For these slurs and all the slurs in this song, you might want to practice them separate bows if you're having trouble. And then just add in the slurs when you're ready. Again, make sure that last slur gets to the lower half. Okay, so I'm going to play through the whole thing and I'm going to do the counting for you so that you know what the rhythm sounds like. I'm going to start right at the very, very beginning. So after I say go, I'm going to do 2 beats of rest. Right, here we go. I've got my 4th finger ready, starting the lower half, grabbing with my pointer finger. Ready, set, go. 1, 2. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4. All right, so good luck practicing this. Make sure you are super careful about your rhythm. Make sure those eighth notes sound twice as fast as your quarter notes. Be careful with your slurs, and have fun practicing.